Hi, Saxes. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your case is right side up. So look for a clue like a sticker on the top or an emblem on the top, or if the text is right side up, that's what you want to do before you open it, because if you open it upside down, it's going to dump out all over the floor and you don't want that to happen. So once you're sure you have it right side up, go ahead and open your case. And the first thing you're going to do is take out your reed. So you might have a reed case like this. If you don't, I highly suggest one. You can search up alto sax reed case on Amazon and get something like this. It's really easy to take your reed in and out of here and not break it. Sometimes the little cases, the plastic cases that they come in, are a little bit difficult to get settled with. So you have your reed, and you can see there's like that fat side and then there's this thin side. We want to keep this thin side safe because that's where you're going to break your reed. So we always just kind of hold it from here. We try not to touch up here. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put that reed in your mouth like that. You want most of it in your mouth, and you're putting the thin side in your mouth. And you're going to keep that reed in your mouth the whole time that you are putting your sax together, because the reed, if it's totally dry, it won't play very well. So I'm not going to keep it in my mouth because I need to talk to you, but you should still have your reed in your mouth. And then you're going to take out the neck part, which looks like this. And there's cork on the end. And you can see my cork is a little bit smashed here because that's where my mouthpiece goes. So I don't need to put cork grease on every time because it's pretty easy to get my mouthpiece on. But when your saxophone is new, you usually have to put on your cork grease. And probably every day for a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, you're going to take your cork grease and you're just going to put it all over the cork there. You don't need too much, just a little bit. After the first couple of weeks, if your mouthpiece is going on a little bit easier, you don't need to put cork grease every time, maybe once a month or so, or if you notice that it's like really difficult to put together. Then the next part you want to get is your mouthpiece. You might have a cap on it like this with your ligature there, or you might not have a cap. And there's a couple different kinds of ligatures. So here's this gold ligature. A lot of us have that one. And some people might have like a black ligature like that. So I'll show you both ways of putting those together because they're a little bit different. So you have your neck, you have your mouthpiece. Remember, this mouthpiece is very delicate. You don't want to drop it because it's about $50 just by itself, and it's not something that can be repaired. So if you drop it and it chips, then you're going to get really squeaky sound and you would just have to buy a new mouthpiece. So you're going to take this and it goes onto the cork this way. So you're going to hold, like I like to hold the neck in my right hand and the mouthpiece in my left hand. And I just hold this so I'm not going to damage this or bend this part. So I hold it like that. And then I put my mouthpiece on and then I twist it like that. You don't want to just push it straight in because you might rip the cork eventually. And then you can see that I have just a little bit of cork left. It doesn't need to go all the way down, and you don't want it like barely on. So just about a little less than an inch there of the cork should be showing. So once you got that, you're set here, and you can see that this is the bottom side here. And on the bottom side, I want the flat table part. So your mouthpiece has a round part and it has a flat table part. And so you want the flat table part on the bottom because it's going to go in your mouth like this, and the reed is supposed to be on your bottom lip. So you're going to take your reed and you have a table part of your mouthpiece and you have a table part of your reed. So you can tell the one side is flat and one side is round here. The table part is going to go to the table part. It fits just like that. This round piece, it's not going to fit very well. You can see it's got a lot of space in there, so it's going to be table part to table part. So I want to show you that because a lot of people try to stick it into this hole there. It doesn't belong in the hole. It's table to table. And then you take your ligature. If we do this and put our ligature on, we're likely to split the reed and break the reed. And once we break our reed, that's it. We have to buy a new reed. They do cost money. So we put our ligature on first. And if you have a gold ligature, you have this table part and the screws are going to be on the table part. You're always, when you're looking at that, you want to use your right hand to do the screws no matter what kind of ligature you have. So if you have a gold ligature, the screws are going to be right by that table spot. And what I'm gonna do is I've got my table side of my reed facing the table side here, and I need to push this up with my thumb. Every single time you put your clarinet together, you're gonna have to open and close these little screws. So you have to tighten it and loosen it. So here, I'm sliding that under, and then I'm gonna line up my reed so that it, oh, that's crooked. It's gonna be here, and then I'm gonna push this down. And you can see right here, it's not quite down far enough. So I'm gonna have to open up my ligature just a little bit. I'm gonna unscrew it so that I can get it to go farther down on the mouthpiece. And then I have to line that reed up again. And then I'm gonna push this ligature down, and then I'm gonna just tighten it until it's just snug. It doesn't need to be all the way closed, and it doesn't need to be super, super tight, but you want it to be snug enough so that the reed isn't gonna be moving all over the place. So you can see on my mouthpiece, I have this spot here, this ridge, and I need the ligature to be under there. When I first started, the ligature was kind of right above here, so I had to open it up to move it down. And then you can see that my reed is lined up exactly right. It doesn't stick out over the top here, and it is not crooked. It is exactly lined up there. I'm gonna take this one off, and then I'm gonna show you the black ligature, because I know a few people have a black colored ligature. So same thing, you have to put that ligature on before you get your reed on, but in this case, the screw part is going to be on the round side. It's not on the table side of the mouthpiece. So again, I need table to table. So I'm going to push this ligature up with my thumb, and then I'm going to slide the reed down here, and I'm trying not to touch this top part. I'm only touching this bottom fat part of the reed, and then I kind of get that lined up here, and then I'm going to push the ligature down. And when I push the ligature down, you can see my reed went a little bit crooked, so I'm going to straighten up my reed before I tighten the ligature. Make sure I am all lined up here. Okay. Here, and then I'm going to tighten up my ligature so it's just snug. Again, it doesn't need to be super, super tight, and I just made my reed up a little bit too high, and tighten it down here. Okay, so you can see my reed is lined up. My ligature, if I have a black one, the screw is on the top, but I'm using my right hand to do the screws there, to tighten and loosen. So now we're gonna do our first step of playing just our baby saxophone, the neck and the mouthpiece. So when we do this, we're gonna take our bottom lip and make it go over our teeth. We don't want it to go like all the way in like this, but just over the teeth. And then you're gonna put, remember the reed is on the bottom side, you're gonna put the reed on there, and then your top teeth are gonna go down. Now you have to figure out where your top teeth go down. If you look at your reed or your mouthpiece from the side, you're gonna see where the reed starts to touch the black plastic or the black rubber. It's right about there. So that is where I'm gonna put my top teeth down. I don't want my teeth up here, and I don't want them all the way down here. You're gonna get a really honky, squeaky sound here, and if you have it here, it's gonna be really difficult to play, and it's gonna be a soft sound. So right where that reed touches the rubber, that's where you want your teeth. So I got my bottom lip, I put the reed down, my top teeth are right down there, and then I think to keep this one flat, because we're not gonna like bunch our lip forward this way, okay? And then you're gonna blow. Okay? You can always pause this video and go back and review or try different exercises again. And you can also slow it down or speed it up if you need to. So we're going to try that. We're going to do 4 counts of playing, 4 counts of resting. So our silent reading voice should be saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over and over again. We're going to sit up very tall. Your feet need to be flat on the floor, back up straight. We're going to think about our lip, bottom lip, place, top teeth down, we, 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Good. You can see that my cheeks are not puffing out. We want to try to make our muscles really strong. If you can't keep your cheeks in yet, that's okay. We're just going to keep working on getting our muscles stronger and stronger. One thing I need to ask you to make sure you do absolutely every time is that my top teeth are down. That's got to happen. Otherwise, you're going to get kind of like a honk the horn sort of sound, and we don't want that. So now we're going to do our tonguing. So remember, our tongue is going to just tap right here, and it just tap, 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 tap. So see if you can hear my tongue, and I'm going to make my air just go straight forward. I'm not going to stop my air. Listen for my tongue. Ready? Here I go. So you could see I didn't stop my air like this. I'm looking for my air going like this and my tongue just tapping the reed. Okay, let's try that together. We're going to tongue for 4 notes and then we're going to rest for 4 notes. 1. Oh, sorry. You know what? Let's get set. Here. Open. Place it. Top teeth down. We. Standing up tall. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good job. We're going to put our saxophones together next. So the first thing you need to do is dig in your case and find your neck strap. Yours might have a pad like mine, or it might just be a plain old, like almost luggage strap looking thing. So you're going to get that ready and you're going to put it just right around your neck. And then you have to figure out how to raise it up. Once you put your saxophone on that hook, it's a little bit more difficult to raise up. So you just pull that little plastic piece up. And if yours is stuck, you have to figure out which side of it you can hold so that it can raise up or down easier. If I hold this side, it won't go up, but if I hold the back side there, easy to pull up. So I like to put my neck strap up just a little bit before I put my sax on because it's easier to adjust when there's no saxophone on it. And then you're gonna go ahead and you already put your neck and your mouthpiece together and the reed. So you want to make sure that that's safe in a spot where it's not going to fall. And then you pick up the other part of your saxophone. You have the bell sticking out one way, and on the other side you can see a little ring here, and that's where your neck strap is going to go. My neck strap is an open hook, so I just hook it like this. If yours has a little, thing where you have to pull on it you might have to do that to get your neck strap done. So there. I've got it, and the saxophone rests on my neck. I should never be holding up the saxophone with my hands. It's always resting on your neck. Then you're going to take this neck and mouthpiece part, and you're going to put that into this spot. This is a little bit tricky. You're going to see that the bell is pointing out this way. The neck is going to point out the other way. We don't want the bell and the neck on the same side like this. So this goes here, and you're going to see there's this little piece, and that is going to go under this little piece from your neck here. So we're going to do that, and we want to be careful not to bend this part. We just kind of put that in there, and you can see from the top, it goes, the bell sticks out this way, and the neck sticks out the opposite way. So there's also a little screw on the top here, and then you tighten it up so that this neck doesn't move all around on you. So every time you take it apart, you need to loosen that, and when you put it together, you just tighten it. And it doesn't need to be super, super tight, just tight enough that it's not moving around. So now I've got my saxophone, and so you can see it's a little bit too high for me, so I need to lower my neck strap just a tiny bit. You want it so that when you pull the saxophone in, it comes just right to under your lip here. If it's too far under, then you're going to be like trying to get through your saxophone there. So you don't want it to be so low. You got to find the right spot, and that's really kind of difficult at first. So one thing that helps me, you can't hardly see it, when I'm sitting down, I put my saxophone on my lap like this so that it's not hanging on my neck strap, and then I can easily move the neck strap up or down. You just got to find the right spot. So once you get taller, your saxophone's going to be in front of you like me, but when we're not quite as tall, so usually in 5th and 6th grade, our saxophone has to go to our right side, and then we might have to move the mouthpiece so that it feels good. We're not having to twist our head like this. So you're going to play with your saxophone just off to your right side a little bit, that way. So when we play our notes, we do the same exact thing with our face that we did when we were playing just with the neck, but we have our whole saxophone together. And we're going to talk about where do our fingers go. So first of all, your right hand on the back, if there's a hook, and your right thumb is just going to sit right in there. Our fingers go on the 3 keys that are down there. We're not going to push these 3 keys yet. Pretty soon, but not for our first 3 notes. So our right hand, they're just going to rest over those notes there. And for everybody, I put stickers on these because there's a lot of keys here, but we only have 3 fingers to use. So our left hand, you're going to see on the back of your saxophone, it's a black button, or it might be gold or silver, but it just rests there. It doesn't push anything down. And so you're just going to rest your left thumb there, and you have to make your hand like a claw, or like you're holding a really big bottle of water, because you don't want to press these palm keys. It makes it sound silly. I mean, you might want to do it for fun, but when we're actually trying to play, we don't want to press these because it's going to make kind of a squeaky sound here. Then you can see this one has all these little rollers. This is where your pinky rests. You're going to go 1 key up, 1 key up. You got to skip this one, this little tiny key, and then right here. So you're going to just rest your fingers there. Most of you have stickers there, but if you lose a sticker, this is how you find out where they go if you forget. So for our B note, we just push our first finger down, and our other 2 aren't pressing them down, but they just kind of rest at their home. The fingers have to always be on the same keys. They don't get to visit anybody else's house. So B here, A is going to be 2 fingers, and G is going to be 3 fingers. When we play these, we do the same thing with our mouth that we did just with the mouthpiece and neck strap. So you're going to get your fingers set to B. That's just the first finger. And we're going to go with our lip, place the reed down, get your teeth set in the right spot. Remember, not too little mouthpiece or not too much mouthpiece. Get your teeth set, think we, and then we're going to try to play a B note. Okay, now we're going to try our B note for 4 counts and then rest for 4 counts. 1, let's get set. Bottom lip, covering the teeth, but not too much. Set it down, teeth, we, fingers set, our back is up straight, our feet are flat on the floor. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, good job. We're going to try for our A note. Remember, our A note has 2 fingers down. So if I said like 1, 2, I have 2 apples. Those are the 2 fingers down. Make sure you got them on the correct keys. Okay. Remember, you'll have stickers. And here we go. We're sitting up very tall. I got my bottom lip covered, or my bottom teeth covered. And then I'm going to set it down, set my top teeth, think we, and we're going to play our A note. Ready and go. Very good. Now we're going to try to play A for 4, rest for 4. play for 4, rest for 4. Your silent reading voice should be going the whole time. Bottom lip covered. Set it down. Top teeth. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now we're going to try for our G note, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And while we're doing that, check your right hand. Is your right thumb under that hook there and your other fingers are just resting, or is it like doing something different? Keep that right hand under the hook. Here we go. G fingers. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Lip, set, teeth, we, sit up tall. 1, 2, ready, G. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, good job. We're going to now try our B note, and we're going to make 4 B notes. So we're going to use our tongue by going 2, 2, 2, 2 on the B note, which is just 1 finger. So get your lip set, sit up tall, set down your mouthpiece, teeth, we, B note, 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3, again. 1, 2, 3. Last time, 2, ready, go. Let's try 4 A notes. So get your lip set down, top teeth, we. A note has 2 fingers. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Now let's try our G note. Remember, that's 3 fingers. You can pause at any time if you need a little bit more time to get set. Bottom lip, set your mouthpiece, top teeth down, we. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, good job. We're going to do some hot cross buns. We're going to just pop through the notes first because sometimes it's hard to do our fingers and our breath at the same time. So our fingers are going to go B, A, and G. So let's just pop it and say the names of the notes for hot cross buns with me. 1, 2, ready, go. B, A, G, B, A, G, 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 A, B, A, G. Lots to think about in there. So 1, you need to use your tongue on the G, 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 A part. Use your tongue and ask yourself, is my tongue touching? Can I actually feel it tapping the reed? Okay. And then we need to sit up tall. We need to get ourselves situated here. So I'm going to do my bottom lip, set the mouthpiece, top teeth down, and my fingers are set for a B note. Here we go for hot cross buns. 1, 2, ready. Good job. Play hot cross buns about 5 times and give it a try. All right, we need to know how to put our saxophones away. So remember, our reeds are expensive, and if we crack them, then we need to buy a new one. So we want to make sure that the first thing we do is keeping our reed safe. So the first thing I always do is I take my reed off. You're going to have to loosen your ligature just a little bit. You don't want the screws to come all the way out. And then I'm going to use my thumb to push this fat part here because I'm trying not to touch the skinny thin part there. So I'm going to push that up, and then I have my reed here. And then I'm going to very carefully take my reed case and tuck it in. I don't want to ruin that top part of the reed at all. So I'm just going to be really careful. If you just have one of the like clear plastic ones, you want to push it in just so it's secure, not like shove it all the way in there because then it gets stuck up there. And then you basically have an impossible time getting out, and you probably will break it before you're able to get it out. So we want to do that. And then we have our neck and our mouthpiece. Sometimes it's easier to take that ligature off to get it, to get the mouthpiece off. But if you greased it well and your cork is behaving, you can just grab here and just pull out that way. You don't want to just yank it here. You want to twist to get that out. And then I have a cloth to clean out my saxophone. It has a weight on it and everything. You do not want to put this through your mouthpiece. It will get stuck in there and it will ruin your mouthpiece. So I just use that and my finger and kind of clean it out just a little bit. And remember, I told you about how that mouthpiece is really delicate, so we don't want to drop it. I'm going to put my mouthpiece cap back on. If you don't have one, that's okay, but you want to put it in your case so that it's safe and this doesn't fall. Then the next part you need to do is take off the neck piece, because we don't send our cloth through the neck. If you send it through the neck and you're lucky, it won't get stuck, but it easily gets stuck in the neck part. So you're going to take this out, and I just kind of do that to it. They have special like neck pieces that you can send through the neck if you want to get one of those. I think I do have one in here. But this, it looks like this. It's a tiny little piece here because stuff can really easily get stuck in here. So if you want one of those, you can buy one of those little neck cleaners. And the way that you do it is you put that weight in there, and then you get it to come out, and then you pull it through like this way. Okay. But if you don't have one of those, and most people don't, you just kind of go like this, and then you put it back in your case and it'll dry out there. There's no pads on that spot. So the reason that we have to clean this part is because under our keys, we've got all these pads here, and we don't want the pads to get ruined. I mean, eventually you're going to have to get your pads replaced, but the more you take care of it and the more you clean it out, the longer your pads are going to last. Like, I think I've had my same pads for like 20 years, so they can last a really long time. But if you are eating like sugary stuff, or you're not cleaning out your saxophone, then they don't last as long, and you have to get them redone. So you're going to unhook your neck strap from here. And this is the tricky part, but you got to use gravity here. So on your swab here, you want to make sure that it is just all like loose and out. It cannot be crumpled up. If you crumple it up, it's going to get stuck in your saxophone. And then I'm a little bit stuck on my saxophone here. Okay. It has a weight there. Yours might not look like an oval. Yours might just be kind of a cylinder there. And you're going to take that weight part and you're going to put it into the saxophone bell. And then you're going to feed all of that string that's there into, let's see, you can't see it, can you? You're going to feed all of the string into the bell here. You're going to put all of that in there, and then it's attached to your swab there. Remember, you want to have that all out so that it's not all crumpled up. So you can see mine is not crumpled up at all. And then you have to bend it so the weight is right here. You're going to have to bend it around so that it comes out of the top here. We don't want to put in here because it's easier to get stuck. You want to put the weight in the bell and come out this way, and then you're just going to pull on that, and then that should easily come out through there. Once you do that, you're going to put your saxophone so it's safe in your case, and make sure all of the parts in your case very, very safe. And then always take off your neck strap too. I'm always walking around with my neck strap because I forgot to take it off. So take your neck strap and put that in your case as well. And then you're gonna make sure your case is latched up really, really nice and tight so that when you pick up your case that it doesn't dump out all over the floor. So once you're sure it's latched, then you can pick it up and go about your merry day. We'll see you guys later. Have a great week.